Well, today I want to give you a quick rundown on why the new for 2020 SOG Flash AT is the best out of their new updated line in their AT series that SOG is producing for 2020, and why it's the first SOG in the series that you should pick up. Well, that's right, folks. Welcome back to another video here at Gideonstactical. I'm your host, Aaron, and we're gonna have some fun today as I break down this Flash from their new AT series. They have recently redone the Trident, the Aegis, and this Flash. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why, if you are connecting with the materials, the designing of those three blades, why this is really the first one that you should pick up. The features that it has to offer. We'll touch on some of the things that I saw were either drawbacks or a little bit of concerns so that you can make a wise choice. Now, I recently went out and I purchased all three models, spent like 260 bucks from Blade HQ to buy all three so I could do a full feature length review for you. I recently did that, so if you want to go in depth and see them all side by side, I'll have a link in the description below for you that you can check out that full feature length video. But in this one, I'm just going to focus on the Flash and share with you why I think of the three, this is the best model for the value, the performance, the designing, and why it's the first one of the three if you're considering this new AT series, which stands for Assisted Technology series, why this one I think is the first one you should pick up if you're considering all three models and you're trying to figure out which one would be best. We'll run in a bunch of competitive options as well in the price point that this is hitting, and we'll discuss all that today. So let's go ahead and jump to it, see the performance, and why I think this is the first of the new AT series you should pick up, and why it's the best of their entire line. All right, guys, so the first thing that we're gonna hit is this blade. Now, what's really cool is that they have now shifted to Cryo D2 steel, and these blades are gonna be made in Taiwan. So I'm glad for that, and not China. I just like the quality control of Taiwan. I prefer to support them. You're going to get probably some of the better D2 on the market because of not only it's coming from Taiwan, but then I know SOG has always done these like cryo treats even on OS 8, and they had some of the better OS 8 on the market, and now they're doing that with D2. And what I've found with my work is that it's definitely better than a lot of the Chinese D2 you're going to find, it on par with a lot of good quality, good heat treated D2 steel. You're looking at about a 3.45, so almost 3.5 inch overall blade, huge belly, great shape there. I love that shape, great relief edge, wicked worker, slicer. Going to go through all kinds of material, and it's got a high saber grind. That's not a hollow grind, that's a saber grind that we're looking at there. So it's very high, 1/8 of an inch thick, but they keep that stoutness all the way down to the tip. So I mean, this is a strong blade, and then a 90-degree spine as well, with a really good coating on there. It's going to hold up really well. I even liked how they're kind of changing some things. SOG, instead of saying that, this is what it stands for. SOG stands for Studies and Observation Group. So they're kind of dialing back the logo. That was kind of a critique in years past. You'd have all these SOG wording, lettering all over the place, look like a billboard. That's not the case anymore. We have very low advertisement for the blade. So fantastic in that regard. It's an upgrade over their older models. I think it's a good steel that's going to hold an edge. It's going to perform well. It's not super difficult to resharpen, and it's just I love the blade shape, and it's one of the best blade shapes they could have gone with, and I'm just super happy with that design. That's one of the main reasons why it's, like, in my opinion, probably the best overall kind of do everything design blade shape that you can get. Okay, so one of the things with the older versions, this is now discontinued mini Trident, is their locking mechanism. So it was decent, got the job done, but it wasn't super strong, definitely by no means a strong locking mechanism. And with their assisted feature and everything else, there was definitely a lot of rock side to side and up and down. There was just a pretty loosey-goosey, and that was with all SOG folders and has been for years. So when I saw that they were coming out with this new version, they were going to stick with assisted, I would have preferred manual, and from what I can tell, it's riding on bronze bushings inside of there, so that's a really good thing. And it's got a really good snap to it, and I've had these now for a while, and that snap is staying consistent. But I was a little concerned, how is this rock going to play, or is it just going to be kind of loosey-goosey like the last versions were? Not the case. This is rock solid. This has a really good stop platform. It's not really a bar, but that's a platform to stop it in place, and I have no rock side to side and none up and down. This is a tight blade, and this is the case on all 3 of their versions with this new locking mechanism, similar to an axis lock back there that's going to rest, and then you pull completely ambidextrous, and that will release it. And when you deploy it, it snaps solid into place. So this is a way stronger lockup, in my opinion, than the old version by a long shot. They're rated for 1,500 pounds is what it says. I'm not going to hang 1,500 pounds off of it, but it's very strong, very durable, and a very solid, strong lockup compared to old SOGs, and on par, if not better, than, say, any assisted Benchmade that I've ever had, or assisted Kershaw, or any other really assisted blade that I've ever owned. It's on par or better, and it's a lockup. And then with this new designed locking mechanism, this XR lock that they have on several of their other designs now, so it's been around for a while. They've been using it, I think, for about a year or 2 now. Super good. And then that deployment. And as we continue on, those thumb studs are completely ambidextrous. This is designed as a completely ambidextrous blade. That's really good. Now the safety feature is another thing that probably some of you are interested in, and that flare right there. I don't think the knife needs a safety feature. I have tons of assisted open blades that do not have safety features, and they've never been really an issue. I would have preferred something that was probably like a little bit of a latch, you know, just like slides back and forth if they were going to do that, like some Benchmades. The way that this sticks up, I was concerned it was going to create a hot spot. It does not. Even if you hold it like this, you don't even feel it. And if you do a hammer grip, it still goes right in that soft webbing portion of your hand that I did not feel any sort of uncomfortability, and didn't even really notice that it was there. Now, do I wish it was there? No. But for the mechanism, it makes the knife kind of look a little goofy. You got that little red dot right there, so red is dead if it's open like that. You can deploy it, and then if you have it this way, it will not deploy the blade. It's locked up in your pocket. So you know what? It is what it is, and I hate that saying, but that's what you're going to deal with. I'm not taking this apart. If someone else wants to take it apart and, you know, try and figure out, can you remove that little latch and da-da-da-da-da, maybe, who knows, you know, but that's the locking mechanism. Basically, it does what it's supposed to do, and it doesn't create any ergonomic problems on all 3 models that I have tested and used. Now, next up, this is a high-vis blue, but they do have some very low tones and color combinations for the flash and all designs that they have. They have high-vis and kind of low-vis, which is cool that they're doing that. It just kind of stands out a little bit. You're going to have a glass reinforced nylon handle scale. You're going to have steel liners in there, so that's always a nice thing, and that's going to be a difference. These are always kind of lightweight, the older versions, and not really any liners, and all polymer. These now are heavier and give you a little extra strength. So this is going to be 4.49 ounces in weight, which for the size I think is fine. And it's not overly heavy, but it's not light either. And it just gives you a sense of like durability and strength. And then that handle, really well done, not creating any hot spots. It's not squared off, it's contoured, which I really like. So that's great. This hump here doesn't cause any issues, splits my hand well. I have plenty of real estate on that 4.67 inch long handle. Fills out the hand very nicely for a lot of either outdoor use or just, you know, EDCing it around town. It's going to fill out the hand but not feel overly bulky, but give you durability and strength that the older versions on the handle I feel didn't give you. Going to the fully ambidextrous, this is going to have the best pocket clip in my mind. It's a loop over, it's ambidextrous, and it just works. It's such a deep ride. It gives you good tension without it being overly grippy. Doesn't have any screws that some of the other models are going to have issues with, the Aegis particularly, that kind of catch on your pocket. This can ride on all different types of thicknesses of pocket without issue. So just really happy with this pocket clip, and even just the overall designing. It just makes sense out of all 3 models for basically every type of task you would want to put most pocket knives through. So one of the biggest sticking points that even you guys in the original video made comments about was the price. It's $75. I think it's probably about $10 to $15 overpriced. If this was like 60 to 65 bucks, I think a lot more people would immediately gravitate to it. At $75, there's definitely some heavy competitive options that are out there. Now again, Taiwanese made, all the features, the new locking mechanism, Cryo D2, you know, all that. I mean, you could probably justify the cost, but I'm just going to roll in some competitive options. 2 D2 blades first right out of the gate, and we'll have links for you guys. Amazon, Blade HQ, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, GP Knives. We appreciate when you use the hyperlinks that we offer to you if this knife or any other of these competitive options connect with you, and only if they do. I don't care if you buy any of these. I just want to give you guys data, but if you do make a choice, we appreciate when you use the links. So the first one would be the Dividend. They have so many different versions now from Kershaw, USA made, aluminum handle scales, liner lock, loop over, ambidextrous pocket clip, assisted open with a flipper. This is the CPM D2 with N690 upper version. So about the same size of actual cutting edge. Definitely not as robust. I mean, it's a thinner, lighter blade, slimmer blade there. Really cool compound blade there, about 80 bucks. So $5 more, and you get a USA made, more EDC focused because it's slimmer, lighter weight. Now I prefer the locking mechanism, and the deployment is snappier on the SOG, the lockup that they offer over a liner lock. But actually, and this is actually a 4-way, I think, directional pocket clip, my bad. Yeah, 4-way. But USA made for $5 more, you know, so I mean, just competitive. Depends, maybe you want a slimmer, lighter blade. There's a CPM D2 steel blade, basically same price, $5 more. Then if we go on the flip side, not assisted, Taiwanese made D2 steel wrap model 1 from Ontario Knife Company. About the same blade length, actual cutting edge, a little bit longer overall reach, just by a hair. You know, Grivery, polymer handle scales, liner lock again, 4-way directional pocket clip. Bronze bushings that are not assisted. Man, if this came de-assisted, that would be like mind-blowing in my opinion. If it was like the deployment of this, and you could like snap it back and forth, it'd be so cool. Anyway, 45 to 50 bucks, you know. Yeah, it doesn't have quite, you know, probably I would argue that the SOG's D2 will hold an edge longer because of the cryo treat and stuff. Again, I like this locking mechanism over a liner lock. But other than that, I mean, we're looking same country of origin, you know, those type of things, and, you know, it's going to be $25 cheaper. Well, folks, there you have it. The reason that I believe this is the best of the entire series that they recently released is not only the amazing profile. I mean, it does just have a great profile, the good materials, handle ergonomics, but also the price at that $75 price point, because as you go through the series, they go up by about $10 each. The Aegis being about $85 and the Trident being about $95 for the average going rate. So they only go up as you continue to go up in their designing. So that's why I think not only value, but just design connect the most with me out of the entire line. Now I'm going to break down the other two in videos to come that are very similar to this, talking about what the other two have to offer, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to see the full in-depth, all 3 blades running together, I'll include the links for that feature length video that I recently posted up. So guys, I appreciate you coming over. Thank you again. Check out all those links. Don't even forget about our knockaround sunglass links as well. I just purchased these new ones here. These are kind of like their sport edition, kind of a rubberized almost frame, and then they got the pads for the nose, and all the other hyperlinks that we offer to you guys. Helps me get out there, buy gear just like these blades that I did today, to give you guys full comprehensive videos just like what you're seeing here. So appreciate you. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. Follow us along on Instagram and Facebook, and always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.